final exam review here. Welcome to our first in a series of videos that we're going to have out there that help you make sure that you're fully prepared for this final exam. Something that you have to realize about the way I prepare for finals. First off, I hated it when I was a student and the teacher would say, okay, do these questions and you'll be ready for your final. And then you walk in and you take your final, and a large piece of the test had very little to do with the review material. So that's not going to happen. If there's a question on these review sheets, then you can bet that in some way, shape, or form, that concept is going to be on your final exam. And you can also be confident that if it's on the final exam, it will appear on these review sheets. So it works both ways. Study these review sheets, prepare, know them thoroughly, and you will be ready for anything you're going to see on your final exam. And honestly, I think you can get 100, but even if worse comes to worse, you wouldn't get 100, but you would still get a really, really, really high grade. I think you'll get 100, I really do. But just in case I'm slightly wrong and you missed one question, you would get a 97. I don't think there's any way in the world you would do worse than that. Okay, so now you know, study these sheets, you'll kick butt on the test. And when you walk out of the test, you will say, boy, oh boy, we were thoroughly prepared. Everything we needed to know, we went over. All right, so here are answers to the first sheet. First question talks about the 98th percentile in a normal curve. It gives you the information that the average IQ is 107 and the standard deviation is 12. There really is an organization called Mensa. It is a high IQ society, and you've got to have a great IQ in order to get in there. The only thing that's a little bit off is exactly what the average and standard deviation scores are. I changed those a little bit. But for the sake of the problem, we're going with 107 and 12. So you're going to hit second var's inverse norm because you want to know what the 98th percentile is. So you're inversing or going backwards with the normal curve. 0.98 first is the area you're looking for. 107 is the mean. 12 is the standard deviation. Tells you 132. Next, a Pez dispenser dispenses small candies. Pez treats. I hope you remember what they are. I don't know if you grew up with them. We did. Is the Pez dispensed a discrete or continuous variable? It is discrete. Discrete, it always counts. It's like in counting numbers or whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 2.5, 3 3/4, or 4.7123. That's continuous. So when you're dispensing a candy out of a dispenser, that is a discrete. Okay. Sorry, the dogs are barking. That means my wife is pulling up. Okay, next up. Burger King, a soda machine, dispenses Pepsi in a uniform distribution. That means everything is equally likely. The machine dispenses between 18 and 25 ounces. As soon as you have a uniform distribution, we like to draw these triangles of the area. You go from 18 to 25. There's a total of 7 in there, so the probability of anything along the way is 1/7. If the cup size is 22 ounces, find the probability that the cup does not overflow. So basically, you put a 22 in here, and we're going to find the area of the smaller triangle where it would not overflow out of the area of the whole thing. Well, this has a length of 4, and we know the width is 1/7. Why did I put 3? Oh, I did the probability that it does overflow. So please look at number 3 here. It's the probability that it does not overflow. So it should be 4/7. Okay, not overflowing would be 4/7. I will make that adjustment on the Moodle. Next, number 4. The lengths of giraffe necks are normally distributed with a mean of 6 feet. It is true their average length is 6 feet. I have no idea if it's normally distributed, but we'll go through the problem this way. Standard deviation, 0.8 feet. We're working it for the problem. What's the 85th percentile? Again, percentiles, normal distributions. Second var's inverse norm. 0.85 is the percentile. 6 is the mean. 0.8 is the standard deviation. Hit the calculator. It'll tell you 6.8. A sample of 10 scores has a mean of 20. Now, it's not obvious how I came up with 200. If you have 10 scores and the mean or the average of those 10 scores is 20, then that means you must have had 200 points. So that when you did the 200 divided by 10, you get the average of 20. So the way you do it is you take the number of scores times the average and you get the total points. So 10 scores, 20 points each is 200 points. Then someone who had a score of 1 is replaced. So you take that score of 1 and get it out. That's 199. and is replaced with a person, so that means you still have 10 people in there. Sometimes you don't replace them. This time you do, so you still have 10. And you add in the new score of 21 to the remaining 199. So 199 plus 21 adds up to 220. Then you divide that by the 10 people that are still there because one left and one came in. And that's a total average of 22. So that's the new mean. All right, how do we do this stem and leaf plot problem? So what you're going to do is you're going to first enter the data into list 1. You go to stat edit to get into list 1. Then you're going to go to stat calc and then one variable stats is the very first option. It'll tell you the mean right away. The mean is 68.8. To find the median, you got to keep scrolling down. It's kind of like on the second screen of one variable stats. The median is 68. And this one, I didn't realize based on this set of data that the mode was 68 and 72. Should you receive a question like this on your final, I promise you there will be one and only one mode. So I don't know what to do with the mode, but I can tell you that the mean is greater than the median. If we count 72 for the mode, that would be greater. If we counted 68, then it would be mean and then is greater than the median, which is equal to the mode. So I really don't know what the right answer to the mode part of this is, but you will not see anything like that on your final. Okay, next up, number 7. The histogram below shows number of fish caught in different size ranges. So for instance, between 6 and 7 inches, there were 3 fish. Between 7 and 8, there were 2 fish. So if I want to know how many fish were caught between 6 and 8 inches, I got to go from 6 to 7 and 7 to 8 and add those 2 bars up. 3 plus 2 is 5. Number 8, using less than, greater than, and equal, compare each of the following in the 2 box plots below. Now some of these are a little tough to figure out. You will see something that compares box plots on the test, but it'll be pretty obvious in terms of things won't look quite so close. Like the mean, remember the median is this middle mark here, and it looks kind of the same in all 3 of these. It won't look like that on your final. So first off, the mean of 1 compared to the mean of 3. Okay, well, I think they're about equal. They go to more or less the same height. A few more are shaded above here. This one reaches down a little bit lower, so it's tough to tell for sure, but I think they're around equal. 3 might be a touch greater. A little tough to tell. It's tough to tell the means through there. Maximum, the maximum of 4 is less than the maximum of 1. There's the max of 1. There's the max of 4. The range of 2, remember, range goes from, it includes the whiskers from up here to down here. That's definitely less than the range of 4. The range of 4 is much bigger. And the interquartile range, that's just the range in that shaded box in the middle from the lower end of the box to the higher end. The interquartile range of 4 is definitely smaller than the interquartile range of 3. Okay, number 9A in the diagram below, what's the difference between the first quartile and the median? Tough to tell with the chart here, but I think it's about 12. For this one, I think it's about 5. Okay. And do males or females have a greater maximum? The maximum is out here. So males definitely have a greater maximum. Okay, so that's the first 2 pages complete. We'll start up with number 10 on the next video.